Oh, fuck, it's a snotty, horrible fuck.
Oh! How are? Welcome to the podcast. This is Not For Radio. We are your hosts, Dunc and Jay Reeve. We appreciate you for joining us on your Friday afternoon. We've got a hell of a podcast lined up. We're just going to rip straight into it with a war story. Slightly shorter because we're jumping into a meeting at the end of this. But
you can find out who lay in the base of a piss train, got pissed on by a man. His name starts with D and ends with Unc, and how a man touched my penis.
Okay.
Not For Radio with Jay and Dunc. Yummy.
This show is supported by Classic Builders. Long story short, if you want a new home and don't know where to start, they're a pretty safe first step.
Attention, snipers! Gear up and hold your positions. It's time to load up some war stories. Your tales from the front line, brought to life. Prepare to fire.
All right, I'm going first.
Radio, dig on in.
Happy Friday. Alison Waygard. Mine and my husband's friends, we'll call them Jim and Dave because that's their fucking names, went to a baseball game. As the crowd started to filter in, they noticed my husband, Mike, with a beer in hand, take a seat a few rows below them. Throughout the game, from time to time, they would shout out to Mike, trying to get his attention to say hi, to no response. Assuming Mike couldn't hear them above the roar of the crowd. They also noticed that Mike is really knocking them back, one beer after another, and as the game carries on, they notice him getting more and more pissed, which is not too uncommon for Mike. When the game ends, Jim and Dave see that Mike is now passed out in his chair. Good on you, Mike. And being the good pals that they are, they decide they couldn't leave him behind and want to make sure he gets home okay. So they go down to where he's seated, now slumped over in his chair with his baseball cap covering his face, and each grab an arm and drag him out of the stadium. They throw him in the backseat of Dave's brand new car and proceed to drive him home. On the way home, Mike gets sick all over the back seat. Dave is not very happy, vowing to make Mike clean it up the next day. As they get closer to our house, they start to argue about which one of them is going to have to knock on the door to tell me that Mike is drunk again and to deal with my wrath. They decide to do so together. I hear a knock at my door, and I open it, see Jim and Dave standing there. Kind of sheepish, looking, not really wanting to look me in the eyes, and I said, "Hi, Jim, Dave, what are you guys doing here?" Dave finally pipes up and says, "Sorry to tell you, we've got Mike in the back of the car and he's pretty fucking shit-faced." I look at them absolutely puzzled and confused, so I turn and shout, "Mike, Jim and Dave are here." Uh-oh, I'm not sure what they want. Mike, who had been sitting in the living room the whole fucking time watching TV, then comes to the door. We never actually did find out who they brought home. I just know they stuck the passed out man in a cab and gave him the address of the stadium to the cab driver to drop him off there. And Dave wound up cleaning his back seat by himself.
Far out.
That is so hickers.
That's a classic yarn, surely.
I reckon that's going to be a classic yarn.
Beautiful, beautiful tale. I was starting to pick holes in that story early doors. Like, if he was actually a mate, he would have come back and got on it with them, surely.
This is the Classic Builders Classic Yarn.
There's a chance that he wouldn't actually ever find out about that if he's blacked out.
No.
Which is crazy.
But you can't, like... Could you imagine picking up Benny, or just some bloke that looks like Benny and going...
How many people look like me? It'd be so easy for me with no hat on.
That'd be real easy to take you.
You could pick up 6 of me in one night and be like, what the fuck? I don't know Dunc had 5 brothers.
How does he keep getting out?
It's like lemmings.
It's like bearded minions.
They have a whole van full of them. Hey, a couple of our favourite humans who we've only actually met in person once before is Wumps and Jarch. So Jarch does the We Mean Well podcast, and we're lucky enough to go on their live show when they came here. They also do a radio show in Australia on Triple M, which is now a rival radio station for us, having us launch the rock into Australia. They're massive over there, the number one on their pre-drive show. And Wumps goes out with Lou.
Yes, and so Lou at the moment, a Kiwi lass who's over there, has just had her wisdom teeth taken out. She is absolutely buggered. So
She got infections.
yeah, I think it was real bad too. So she was meant to be catching up with my wife last weekend in Sydney and was like, I'm so fucked, but I still want to come and catch up with you. Then Anna's like, nah, just rest up and
Next
chill
time.
out. Yeah, so what's happened is on the We Mean Well podcast, which is the podcast that they do, Wumps and Jarch have paired up. Because Wumps is kind of floating around in the background. They're both just fucking great lads. And it's not often that you'll meet. I mean, to be fair, everyone that we've met, and the difference in, I mean, this is something that probably won't matter for anybody that's not into broadcasting or podcasting. In radio, generally speaking, it is so secular, you don't talk to anybody else in any other station. It used to be you never even mentioned another radio station. You weren't allowed to be friends with people and competing networks, whatever it is. Whereas podcasting is completely different. Like, Two Flogs lads are great, Knuckles is great. Everybody that we've met in Australia is outstanding, and even Kiwis like a podcast. And Between Two Beers, brilliant, just awesome. And so it wasn't probably that much of a surprise when we caught up with these guys when they were over and jumped on their live show. Then instantly we sort of hit it off and we gave it a good old-fashioned send. And that's how you really, you've got to mix up the epoxy properly, to get a good bond. And we mixed it up that night. It was great.
So Wumps has started this thing, which is just a piss take at the start, but basically it's piss trays of Australia.
Yeah.
And so he'll go into all these old pubs and have a look at the urinal troughs and see how well constructed they are and do a bit of commentary on them and then take a piss in them and then report back how nice it was to piss in them.
And so this is what they were climbing into on the We Mean Well podcast. Have a listen to this. And because it instantly made me think myself, like, wow, where have I been?
I've now started to appreciate them way more. Like when you
Since
get
he's
like a
done it, yeah.
nice tile number leading into, if you're lucky, it's old enough, into like porcelain.
I thought, I'll just start this little page. I probably went over it a few times. And then I noticed half of the population, being men, half of them have never really thought in depth about what they walk into every single fucking day of their lives.
It's a great point.
Think about it.
It's a great point.
And the etiquette that goes with it.
Yeah.
And the history. You know?
Yeah.
Think about it. So your first time going on your own without your old fella come with you.
Yeah.
You're 5, 6 years old. You're
Yeah.
going fully, it's just, it's
Mate.
a full different world.
And you're so right. I know I've been in pubs where great men have been.
That's the one I always said. Imagine being at a piss tray, which like say I go to Beechworth, and there's pubs in Beechworth that are 200 years old.
Yeah.
There is no doubt Ned Kelly would have pissed in one of them. And you're going, Jesus, this is pretty cool. And that's why I always think, like, have you pissed in front of a Prime Minister or a fucking slippery jack?
Or a slippery jack. A simple slippery jack.
Yeah.
Or Sir Edmund Barton, our first Prime Minister.
How
Correct.
many historic penises have been at this tray?
That's right.
It's food for thought. And what I have been led to believe now, looking at my upbringing and the way I've moulded myself, is it's a calling. People may have like LeBron James. You can't question that he hasn't found his calling. You reckon he's made the right career path?
Change, yeah, he was in accounts before basketball, but
You know what I'm saying?
he decided to.
So, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
be far off likening myself to that. I've found my niche,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm pushing forward. By chance, I thought,
He's now got 56,000 followers.
Yeah.
So if you want to give him a follow, all you need to do is click on piss_trays. And he's been to 65 different ones and will go out of his way. Yeah. And people obviously and he's got merch and everything. It's so good.
But when he was talking about those iconic urinal moments, like, here's a couple for me. We were at lunch. There's the first ever game that the Warriors played was versus the Broncos, and from that there's this now history steeped into tradition between the two teams. Mm-hmm. So Cam George is the CEO of the Warriors, very good friends with the owners, management, CEO of the Broncos. So whoever won the last game, when they're in New Zealand, shouts that person lunch. So we were out at lunch, the same place as these guys. He walks in past us, and I've known Cam for a number of years now, and he comes up and goes, hey, so he's there with Alfie Langer. Now, if you're a Kiwi kid, you either supported the Raiders or you supported the Broncos, and one of your favourite players of all time was Alfie Langer. So there's me with a childhood childhood star standing next to him. And Cam goes, "Hey, Alfie, this is my mate JJ, Alfie," so on and so forth. And I'm like, "This is fucking iconic. This is iconic."
Oh, bro.
So there, we're at lunch and I duck in for a piss, and lo and behold, who sidles up next to me at the urinal was fucking Alfie Langer. So
Did he piss your dick?
No, he didn't piss my dick. So that's another story. So I've had.
He leans over. Hey, mate, you want me to shake it?
So
Fuck, I would love nothing more, Alfie.
So in terms of piss tray chats that he was talking about, that's an iconic piss for me, pissing next to Alfie Langer. Another one was when I first moved to Auckland. I've told this story before. I went to an event. So being from Mount Maunganui, you fought tooth and nail for every beer. You watched your beers go into a chili bin and you watched them come out in your hands because people would see you piss. So we're very protective of our beers. We never had anything for free. Never had an event where there was free beers. And so when I moved to Auckland, we're at this event. I remember it like it was yesterday. One of the first events that I went to, it was at Supret when they were just in behind, not far from here at Vic Park. And they were sponsored by, and this is when Amstel was paying for, you would have been, you've seen these events. They just poured like pallets of piss into events. You have any party and they turn up and they drop off.
They were on a tear there for a bit, eh?
Like a real loud pop on them. Anyway, so I turned up to sing and I was like, "Oh, I'll grab a beer, thanks." And they're like, "There you go." And I was like, "How much is it?" And they're like, "Oh, no, it's free." And I was like, what the fuck?
Ding, 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 jackpot, fucking baby, full scene, let's go.
Yeah, can I have another one? And they're like, "Yeah, sure thing." And I was like, "Fuck, can I have 4?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Can I have 6?" And they're like, "Fuck, all right, sweet as." And so I have all these beers and I'm like walking around, I don't really know anyone. And I was like, fuck, I need to go for a piss. And so I went to the urinals and they were individualized, you know, the little teardrop urinals. And I was like, there's nowhere to put, like on a piss tray, you can stack them up along the mantle.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was pissing next to this guy, standing next to this guy, wondering where I was going to put my beers. And I said to him, "Mate, this could be a bit weird, but do you mind pissing my dick?" And so he was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I can't fucking put my beers down anywhere. There's, you know, piss all over the floor." And he's like, "Okay." So he got my cock out, pissed my dick for me and shook it and tucked it away. Lo and behold, did I know, it was the guy who...
You could have asked him to hold your beers.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking trust anyone with my beers.
Wait until you hear the end of the story. It'll make a little bit more sense.
Yeah. So it turned out the bloke who was pissing my dick, unbeknownst to me, wrote a gossip column in the paper at the time. Ricardo. Do you remember him? A fella that likes fellas anyway. He's a great man, and we catch up and laugh about it often when I see him. It's always sort of a point of conversation. But I was like, what a gentleman. Like, to piss a stranger's dick.
He met your dick before he met your name.
Yeah,
like
he didn't even know me.
Got introduced to you.
And so when we would do these interviews on stuff, and I don't know, so they're like, "Oh, you're catching up, you've got to do this piece in the paper with the kind of the guy that's running the gossip column here." And I was like, "Hey, we've met before." And they're like, "How have you met?" And I was like, "He pissed my dick." And it was a real town mouse, country mouse out. They're like, "Oh my God, you just can't say that. Did he touch your dick?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course he touched my dick. I got him to piss my dick." And then he's like, "Well, he asked me to do it."
Babe Plenty Jay wakes up on the Saturday morning. He's like, far out, Jay.
And
unbelievable. Unlimited piss. Blokes pissing your dick. Welcome to Auckland City.
And
You're in the big smoke now, boy. The city of sales.
Final piss tray story from me, which is my iconic piss tray story, was we're in Marble Bar in Sydney, downstairs in the Hilton. The music awards had just finished, and it was not long after the old mate pissing my dick story. And I'm at the urinal by myself, and you know when someone rolls in next to you, and you keep eyes up and sort of acknowledge like, how's it? Anyway, I hear these 3 blokes come in, and they take the other 3 remaining urinals around me. Because there's always, which one do you go for? I normally, if there's 4, I'll run one on the inside, you know? I'll leave one gap on the outside. So anyway, I park up and I look to my right, and lo and behold, it's Wycliffe Jean. And I was like, fuck, that's out of it. I love this bloke. He's amazing.
Stab in the dark. Probably wouldn't want to piss next to him.
Yeah, shit house. And then to the immediate left of me, well, lo and behold, it's Brian McFadden. And then the next one over is Bill Rohde, who was like the head of MTV. So I'm sitting there having a piss with these lads, and we're sort of like mid-piss, mid-chat. Wycliffe's talking to Brian across me. Then I get involved in the conversation. He ended up staying in the bathroom for them for a little bit longer. But then fucking all hell broke loose when security came. And this is like 4 o'clock in the morning. It was iconic. Once again, you forget about these moments, and he brought it all up. Like, it was like, you must have Like you would have been I don't know, you would have walked into a footy club and seen somebody lying in the trough getting pissed on, or there's some weird shit that happens. You know? Benny, you don't look at me like you've not done weird stuff.
No, I've done plenty of weird stuff. But I was just on the, you know how you say you didn't have anywhere to put your beers? I think I've told this yarn on the radio, but not for radio. My Dargaville adventure. We went up there with my girlfriend at the time and some of her friends to stay in their mate's house up there. Yes. If you're not from New Zealand, Dargaville's an absolute shithole. But this place was kind of nice on a farm with a river down the back. I'm busting because I've been smashing piss all the way there. The second we arrive, I run into the house, put my bottle on the top of the cistern, start releasing myself, then in slow motion the bottle slowly falls, tips into the thing, I miss it, and it just smashes a massive hole out of the front of the inside of the toilet bowl.
Yeah, this is not good.
All the water starts pouring out, and I panic, and the first thing I do is fucking flush the toilet. so I just floods the bathroom even worse. And I'm in there trying to fix it with tin foil, because that's the only thing that I can find. Tin foil's not fucking watertight, and then I'm real nervous, because I'm like, fuck, I don't even know this bloke whose house it is. I'm just going to... That was the only toilet that we had for 4 days. So next minute I'm out in the garden digging fucking latrine trenches for the team, putting a sawhorse over it so the girls can sit on a sawhorse and piss into a hole that I've dug, which I conveniently dug in a very scenic spot, I thought, right by the river, but it's like directly by the deck in the kitchen. So anytime anyone's in the kitchen or on the deck, you're just staring at everyone using my jerry-rigged toilet. And then a mate of mine, he goes, I'm not shitting in there, not with everyone watching. I'm going to walk this little forestry path and shit up in the forest to take some toilet paper with me. So he goes up there and he's real worried about shitting on his shoes and his pants.
You got to take them off.
Completely Winnie the Pooh's himself.
Yes.
Then he's wearing a baggy tee as well. So he goes, fuck, I'm going to get shit on this. So he takes that off too. So he's just squatting naked in the forest next to this trail that goes one way, it goes away from the house. The other way, it's a public trail. So
fucking Te Aroha trail.
Two fucking hikers just come around the corner and he hears them. And he turns like a fucking naked possum in the headlights.
Yeah.
He's just squatting in the bushes, this lanky naked dude to the fucking shit hanging out of his ass. So yeah,
it's just the footage of Bigfoot walking through the forest past him.
Just straight to go inside to wash his hands, looking in the mirror, just going, fuck you, Benny.
Yeah.
Fuck
so I haven't been back to Dargaville since.
Weirdly, probably super acceptable behaviour.
Hello, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you are listening to the Giant Dunc Not For Radio podcast. Get in the chopper.
Just going to read this one for you, Jay. We'll move on to one of the greatest yarns I've seen on the internet. Speaking of pissing, it's been all about that today. This from Chris Jones. I want to say I was 16 maybe, and my family went to Florida. I was and still am a passionate scuba diver. The water is the only place I feel graceful. I went by myself on a dive boat. There was me and maybe 6 other divers, all big, brawny men. I felt very small and hairless. You have to understand dive culture. Some people like the fish, some people like the quiet, some people, like dudes with bad fathers, like to pretend they're Navy SEALs. They strap knives to their legs and wear huge watches and get all big balled about how little air they use. This was our boat, filled with those absolute fucking meatheads. On our way to the dive site, I was like, are we invading Bermuda? They were all strapped and wearing 4-foot fins, telling tales about how they routinely dived to 300 feet and fought sharks. Several confessed underwater murders. Today, I'd be like, sorry about your shitty childhoods, but being a teenage boy is hard in some ways. I was sort of intimidated and wanted badly to belong. I did not belong. My mummy and daddy had driven me to the boat, and they were waiting on the shore with me for me with an ice cream. Anyway, we dived, and the biggest cheat of the bunch got a wicked jellyfish sting on his face, like he'd been slashed with broken glass. Whether any of the other stories were true, I had no idea, but now he had a true story about the time a jellyfish turned his lips into sausages. We scrambled back onto the boat. The guy was screaming through gritted teeth, so pretty quickly he was laid flat out on the deck. Back then, the theory was that ammonia helped treat jellyfish stings.
Yeah.
Apparently it does not. A good source of ammonia is urine. Out of nowhere, these big, hairy bros started pissing on his face. like dogs fighting over a fire hydrant. I'd never seen anything like it, eh? I mean, where in the world would I have seen anything like it? But I still have had a lot to learn about diving and manhood. I was like, okay, well, I guess we're doing this. I shouldered into the circle and peed on him too. I didn't take a tinkle on this dude either. If you've ever gone diving and you know that you absorb or swallow half of the fucking ocean and you piss like a racehorse, it was like I was a bilge pump. I emptied a bucket on this guy. I was reminded years earlier of going to Cleveland Stadium, maybe, some ballpark that had circular urinals. I had to stand there in the circle of bikers and longshoremen and take out my tiny peen and hang one out. The boat was like that, but at least I'd hit puberty at this point. We doused that guy like he was on fucking fire. There was more urine on the boat deck than in the bull pit at IKEA. And then we all acted like it was we were the biggest fucking heroes in the world, giving each other high fives and shit. It was the weirdest thing. These guys were jacked. We headed back to shore. Piss Boy sat alone, staring out to sea. I remember thinking, he doesn't look okay. It wasn't just a jellyfish sting. That trip changed him. He had gone out a man who had never been pissed on. And he was coming back knowing that he could never say that sentence again. Everybody else was quiet too, until one of the other guys piped up. We should have pissed in the cups or something and then poured them on you. That would have been better. And the guy just looked over like a man who wished everything was different and whispered, yeah. We got back and said goodbye. 6 strangers brought together by fate to urinate over another stranger's face. My parents asked me how my dive had gone. Great, I said. I didn't tell them that I'd peed on a man for the first time. I just ate my ice cream. That was reward enough.
Route. Imagine
Isn't
that.
that the best, eh?
Imagine coming picking your kid up. So how was it? Man, pretty strange. A man, 4 other blokes just pissed on this guy's face. What?
You guys, you got a link to this diving company or what?
It would be one of those things like, obviously there was a needs must in that situation where he was, the thought process was there. Well, if we get this on there, then it'll stop the stinging or whatever. Although that's not even the case at all. So just the fact that if you were to sit there and just go, rightio, take a sip if you've ever had another man piss on your face and just watch him go.
Didn't old fucking Bear Grylls got Scary Spice to piss on him in one of his TV episodes? He goes, I got stung by I'm sure it happened.
Scary Spice.
That sounds like...
I've had a co-host that drank his own piss. Didn't like it.
It's like a parody, isn't it?
Here is a couple messages from the sniper line. I'm going to go this one, then a bit of feedback.
How are fellas? Got a quick yarn for you here. I'm going to have to stay anonymous due to it being a workplace-related incident. You may recognise my voice from a previous yarn.
I was going to say, I know
So
you.
I work at a car dealership. We have multiple brands. And the brand I work with being the most successful, we got treated to a nice new workshop. And it was absolutely pristine in there. White walls, painted white floor, which is an interesting choice for a workshop as it does get very dirty, but more on that later. And with this new workshop, we got all new equipment. And some of the equipment was different, more specifically the oil drainers. In the old workshop, there's a hose from the wall. You hook it up to the drainer, open a valve on the wall and on the drainer, and it drains the oil. Happy days. However, these new ones require an airline to be hooked up, and there's pressurized air going into this drainer to help drain it. Now, these hold about 90 litres of waste oil, and it appears my colleague forgot to unplug the airline. So when he disconnected the hose of the new drainers, he got covered head to toe in waste oil. And it's safe to say the white walls and floor were black as shit. Absolutely everywhere this oil was. Safe to say the manager wasn't happy. Anyways, go long, go hard, and up the fucking wires.
Yes. The fucking wires. Jeez, that's shambolic. Got a message here from Connor Leeson, and then we'll do a war story, and that'll be us for this Friday episode. Episode 730 with the camels. I'm in rural Western Australia and often go camel shooting for pest control, and they are tough motherfuckers, eh? But always rip out the back straps of a couple of young ones. They're good eating as steaks, or even mince them up for pies or sausage rolls. Wow. The end. Because we were saying, I wonder how they go.
Yeah.
They're like plague proportions, eh?
They are. I think, what was it? There's 2 million camels that are fucking basically in Australia, and 1 million of them are rogue or something.
Just
Some
doesn't
crazy
feel like there's
number.
enough food out there to sustain that many animals, eh?
You should see the wild pig populations too in Australia. They are out of control. I saw a video, and there would have been probably 200 or 300 in this mob that were just running across. They fuck fences, tear up your crop, everything. So I saw this. There's a famous hunting video called Apocalypse Now, where this guy's basically, what's his name? He's Ted Nugent. That's who it is. Ted Nugent's basically, he gets these helicopters, and people are slinging out the side, and they're fucking shooting them with Gatling guns.
Oh my gosh!
That looks pretty awesome. And then in Texas, they've got another one. So they must be running like kind of one of those old Iroquois or bells.
Yes.
Where they're long. And so you've got you and 2 mates either side of you sitting on slings, and so there's 3 either side, and they basically, the helicopter just goes round and banks up, and so you just go bang, 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 running these pigs down, and then while you're reloading, it swings on the other side, and there's other 3 that are there just going bang, 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 bang.
Oh.
And they just keep going and going and going and going and going and going, and then they just basically map the flight path of the helicopter and go and pick all these animals
I would
up.
play that computer game. Why don't they release it on PlayStation? That'd be fucking sick. All of the above. Duck shooting.
Yeah. Incredible.
Right, we're gonna get on with the war story. Yours to wrap it up, Jay.
Snipers, reload. Another war story incoming. Eyes on target, scopes dialed in. Let's see who hits the mark.
This is from Rach Granger, because that's her fucking name. I've got a story that made Jay hurl. That'll make Jay hurl. About 20 years ago, my mum asked me if I wanted my stepfather's old desk chair. Hell yeah. It's a nice black faux leather number, swivel chair. You can lie back on. I mean, who wouldn't want it? So we head on over, my 3 kids and I have a coffee and chat, and then we roll the chair out to my car. When Pete, my stepdad, put the chair on its side to get it in the back of the car, I noticed the underside of the chair, just on the left-hand side, was a weird colour and texture. I obviously pointed this out. My stepdad quickly brushed it off, carried on trying to cram the chair into the back of my car. Well, my mum was a little confused, and so was I for about 3 seconds, and then... I don't know if I want to know where this is going. I realised that it was kind of little flakes of something that had been stuck to the chair, and Pete, being left-handed, add that to his very swift disposal of said flakes, and this could only be one thing. For the entire few years he'd had this chair, he'd only... Oh, fuck, it's a snotty, horrible fuck.
Oh! Oh! That's where he put all his boogers.
He disposed of his boogers in one place. Yep, you
Booger
guessed
chair.
it. It was like a crust. There was like crusty green scales under the ear. Years worth of fucking.
Have a great weekend.
Still got the chair 20 years later, but never touched the underside of the seat. Just
burn it.
Clean the
burn
fucking
it to the
thing,
ground.
Rach.
Water blast it. Pour petrol on it and burn it to the ground.
I thought it might have been a little bit of baby batter.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was going. There was a little bit of a turn. I don't know what was worse. Right, we're going to rush into a very important meeting, but have a great weekend.
Yes.
Up the Wars, up the ABs, the All Blacks. And we'll catch you Monday for the Inside Word. A reminder to buy your tickets for the Liverpool live show, like we mentioned on the podcast yesterday. Looking like it will sell out. So if you're in the UK, you want to make a mission, make a couple of days of it, follow us up to eSale for the Stone Skimming Champs as well. Thanks to our sponsors, Classic Builders, 30 years in the game, teams across New Zealand. They'll talk you through whether a house and land package is for you or design and build. No punishing hard sell, just a chat about building your dreams, making them come true. Have a great weekend. Go well, go long. Up the Wars.
You've been listening to Jay and Dunc's Not For Radio podcast. Thanks for listening. I hope to see you soon.